It's your boy Brotherly, and I'm back with another Planet Coaster video for y'all today. And today I'm about to be working on Jaguar. And for once, I'm not gonna start building the coaster because I feel like for the park, the temple needs to be done before I start building the actual coaster. So for the remaining of the video, that's what I'm gonna be focusing on, just building this temple. And like, just so you guys know, this ride, I tried to make it as accurate as possible because it does hold a special place in my memories, this ride, because this was one of the first rides that I've ever ridden to my memory, as far as I know, the first roller coaster that I've ever ridden, and I was terrified. So let me guys know if this was your first ride, because honestly, as a little kid, Jaguar, it's not that intimidating, but when you go into the temple, it's dark. And like, if you've never been in that atmosphere or been to Disneyland or anything like that, it's just kind of a little eerie. So you go into a little dark temple, it's red in there, it looks like a horror film. And then you kind of like go up a little, I think it's like a 50-foot chain lift. But when you're 4 or 5 years old, that chain lift feels like a 200-foot drop. Like, you're going up there forever. And I was flipping balls when I went up that high. I was just like, what? No. I may have cried. I don't know. I definitely cried on the ride before. I love roller coasters now, but when I was a kid, y'all, not even gonna lie, they terrified me. Like, I went to Legoland, and I almost fell out of one of the flat rides that hovers, not really hovers, but it flies over the water. And it goes just round in a circle, and I swear I was just like inches from flying out into the water. And I knew how to swim at the time, so if I flew out, I probably would have been okay, but definitely big lawsuit coming. So at the time, I wish I kind of would have flew out. We probably would have been rich. Well, I don't know, if I died maybe. But that went dark really fast. But back to the topic here. So yeah, I'm building this goddamn temple here. It's a 6-story temple, and I didn't know how I was gonna get this done, but I managed to do it. Like, I didn't know what this was gonna eventually look like. I thought it was gonna look like poop, but it's actually more simple than what I thought it was. It's just really some squares stacked on top of each other in the right order. And then once you really get the dimensions of what the structure is and really look at it in detail, you understand how to build it. So like, I looked at the edges, looked on Google Map, and then did a little couple comparisons, and that's how I started like filling this thing out. And now, like, looking back on how I built it, I'm just like, damn son, you did that. This is like a lot of work. Like, this took me, I think, it's still not completely done, the temple, but for where I'm at right now, it took me in real time like 10 hours to get this where the temple's at right now in current day. So 10 hours of just like hacking at it, looking at Google Maps, giving my brain a migraine, because this was just like a lot of mind work to just figure out how this was gonna look and make sure that it was like sized accurately. I didn't want to look like it was a gigantic temple over there and then people be like, that doesn't even look anything close to Jaguar's temple, and it just kind of looks like squares. So I tried to make it look as authentic as possible. So this did take some time, and I cut out a lot of details on this build. Like, I didn't want to show you guys me moving the walls up and down 1,000 times to get the shape right, so I skipped around and didn't show you the like fine detailing of the temple. I'm just showing you guys like the major events, like placing this little stone down right here. This is like a major monumental area for the temple, I would say. And this was actually extremely easy. I'm like, damn, how am I gonna build these little blocks and put stairs in the middle? Because I suck at making stairs in this game. Like, it's kind of difficult, and I never really got around to making fake stairs, so this was like a good test of making some fake stairs. But it came out, all things aside, this came out really, really good. Only thing I didn't like about the build is that there's like the shadows, I don't know if you guys can tell, on the walls that's being casted on the building because of the location of the building. And I hate it. I just hate how the shadows are reflecting here. You can't see the detail of the building because of the way that the sun's hitting it and it's casting this big shadow on the temple. And no matter what time of day I put it on, I can't get like a shot where the sun's on the front of the temple, because like just where the location it is. So that sucks. So I'm gonna try to find some workarounds to get some nice angles of this and make a nice little cinematic video for you guys. I think, what am I talking about? You guys already seen it in the beginning. I'm late. I haven't made that cinematic video, but you guys just watched it anyway. So that's where I'm at right now. So right now I'm like detailing the roofs, and then I end up deleting all these roofs, but I didn't put it in the video because I didn't want to see you guys seeing me do the craziness of this build. But I pretty much put all these roofs here just as a placeholder so I could replace them with another custom roof that's a little bit thinner. Well, not thinner, but shorter, because the way that these roofs are right now, they protrude into the interior of the building. So when you walk in it, it just looks like a goddamn mess in there. It just looks like squares popping out of the building, and it just looks horrible inside. So I took off all the roofs, replaced them with custom roofs that are really short, and you're not gonna see that in the video, but I'm just letting you guys know that has been done. So if you see the build later and you're wondering why it looks a little bit different, those are custom roofs. But yeah. Oh yeah, and if you guys, I know you guys been watching the goddamn park walkthroughs, or like pretty much my park spotlight videos where I go through people's parks and do 60 FPS videos. If you have any suggestions of parks you've seen on the workshop, or your park or ride that you want spotlighted, I'm really looking for realistic builds though. I really like recording realistic builds and seeing them come alive in Planet Coaster. And with my editing, I can really bring people's parks alive and make it feel like a real life park. But if it's some type of like sci-fi themed park and it's crammed with a million scenery items, it's not going to work out well. I just can't. There's no way I can push my computer to get 60 frames per second when you got 80,000 parts in your park. So do think about that when you submit something to me. Now, I will say one thing that I want someone's help with is the crown for this temple. I couldn't make the exact figure that it is in real life, just because I didn't want it to look all blocky and nasty. So I ended up just using a default temple piece, like a centerpiece. But if you're really good with making like statues or centerpieces or anything like that, shoot me a comment in the comment section and let me see your work, because I really want that temple, that spire, or whatever you want to call it, the top piece, to look amazing. And it looks similar to the one in real life. It just doesn't have that crown that I was looking for, but it comes out really nice. If you see it, you'll definitely be able to recognize it from the real life counterpart. And you guys, like, after doing this build, I was just getting so hyped for like actually making the coaster, because this is the first time that I actually built the station before making the ride. Because I honestly, after like doing this Knoxbury Farm recreation, I like building buildings more than coasters, because you could just get really in detail. And kind of the coaster editor, it just kind of like lets me down sometimes, how frustrating it could be to get turned smooth. So I try not to mess with it too much. And when you make buildings, you can really just make anything. You're really like limitless. I mean, your ideas are pretty much limitless. You can make everything. You can go on a freaking Steam Workshop and find what you need. Like this little center block section right here. This is a custom scenery roof piece that I put on top of the rocks just so it has a cleaner look, because the way that they look now, I don't know if you guys can tell, they look like 3 lines going down the blocks, and I don't want them to look like that. Like in real life, they're one fat temple block. So what I did is I put the roof pieces, cut them out to the right size, not really cut them, but I've got the right size and put them on there. So now you see I got a clean, smooth surface instead of 3 lines down the middle. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy that over. Boom. Copied it over, fixed the little lines. I hate to see lines and separation in a pattern. Kind of gives me like an issue. So, and now I'm finishing up the corners of the temple. And I thought like I was gonna be able to just copy one side of the temple and just put it on the other side, but it just didn't work out. And then I get to the stairs, and I'm not really happy how they came out to, because they're really supposed to be a little bit steeper, and I didn't make it 1-to-1 the way the stairs really work. I just made it close as I can get it without spending too much time on the section, because my goal with this park is to be able to play it and get around 45 to 60 frames per second when I do my cinematic recording. So I try to add as little bit of scenery as possible, but still giving it the look of Knoxbury Farm. So basically I'm painting a picture with big strokes, leaving the small details out because most computers will not be able to handle it, including mine. And I was thinking about buying a new computer just to finish this park, but then I'm like, if I can't finish on it on my like regular computer, and I spend like $1,500 to finish this park, well, not just to finish this park, but to get a new rig, half of the community won't be able to play it or experience it the way that I intend it to. So I'm building this right now on a i5. Don't quote me on the exact spec, but it's like an i5 45 something. It's a really low powered chip, and then it also has a GTX 745, and that is not like an aftermarket graphic card at all. It's just a pre-installed graphic card that Alienware and Dell came up with. So it's not something that you can find on the aftermarket, and it's a fairly small card with a really small fan. So I'm surprised that it puts out the juice that it puts out. So with this card, I tried to make it, well, not with this card, with this rig, I'm trying to make this build as CPU, I don't even know how to get it. I'm basically trying to make it run as good as possible on all rigs. And then once I get it, the full layout of the park, and I'm satisfied with that, I'll upload a quick copy to the workshop for you guys when the park's like 75% done, and you guys can enjoy that. And this is coming up to the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment on the video. Leave a like, please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.